How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? This is Orson Welles.
It started at a young age for me. There was never any question that I wanted to raise black Angus cattle. This is what I love to do.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a cowboy. What little boy didn't think that was cool? The American cowboy is the master of the land, the leader of the herd, a cattleman, a tough guy who is also respected. But if I'm being honest, I wasn't cut out for it.
This is a city cowboy's worst nightmare. I don't think you want to be friends.
Getting up with the sun to feed the herd or care for a new calf probably isn't for me. But still, there is a close connection to what happens in the kitchen and what happens out here. As a chef, I need to stay curious in order to evolve. For me, that means looking beyond a good meal to learn more about who made it and what inspires them to cook.
La comida es amor.
Every great city has great food. I'm going on a journey around the world, right here in St. Louis. I'm on a quest to find passionate chefs who cooks from the heart.
It's exciting.
And I think it's the best.
To prove that food is love.
And it's gonna be delicious. Food is love. Love your food.
The steakhouse, an American culinary tradition. Think of it as elevated cowboy food, the best cuts of mostly beef in an upscale restaurant setting. Everyone knows if you want a great steak, you go to a steakhouse. It generally doesn't compromise on the food or the experience. And in my experience, some of the best steakhouses are family owned. Naturally, being the gateway to the Midwest, where cattle farming is prolific, St. Louis is perfectly poised for both supply and demand. And certainly, many restaurants in the St. Louis area have beef protein options, like steak, on their menus. But what about the family steakhouse? Does it still exist? To find out, I'm here. This is Citizen Kane's in Kirkwood. The name of the restaurant is obviously a play on words, referencing the classic Orson Welles movie and the name of the owner, Frank Kane.
It was the best black and white movie of all times, and my name being Kane and a nickname of mine, it just all came together. And
You have a couple of things on the menu, right? You know, the rosebud.
the rosebud salad.
That's
off the movie.
That's
and then
off the movie.
Boarding house potatoes, because William Randolph Hearst was actually in a boarding house, so he remembered those days when he didn't have money. One of our first hostesses, she was an art major at Webster University, and she did this before she left. Yeah, it's all about the movie that when Mr. Hearst bought the Daily Enquirer Daily Enquirer newspaper when he was 21 years old.
It almost looks like he has a chef jacket on, right?
It does look like he has a chef jacket on.
And that's the sous chef, and this is the sommelier out in the
That's
front.
it. He's out there selling wine.
Yes.
The hostess thought there was a ghost in this restaurant, so she actually put a lady up here that's watching over all of us.
Is there a ghost here?
Rumor has it there is a ghost here. His name, I believe, is, I think it's Herman.
Herman, okay.
Or Jacob, I believe.
As a classic American family steakhouse, Citizen Kane features a menu that is loaded with all the standards. You want a ribeye? They have it. New York strip or a filet maybe? This is your spot. They make a nice béarnaise, and you can get a good glass of wine or a cocktail here. Everything has the classic steakhouse touches.
We make all our desserts, we make our dressings, we cut all of our meat. Veal stock the old-fashioned way, everything, the béarnaise the old-fashioned way.
But you've made it into a family business.
Yes. 4 of my children work here, and they all do a fine job. I no longer have to.
How many kids do you have?
5.
5. So what happened to the 5th?
The 5th one was a little smarter than the rest of us, and he escaped to Seattle.
In the restaurant business, you can't have enough kids.
I'll tell you what, if I didn't have the kids that I have, we wouldn't be open today.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
I know.
I can't say enough about how great they all are, and all my employees, they've been here for a long time, and everyone has fun at work. Let's bring the bartender over here.
And this is your son?
It's my second boy right here, Tyler. Yes, he's been with us for 20 years. Started when he was 13.
So you're a bartender here too?
Bartender, I'm the general manager as well.
Okay.
So you're gonna have an old fashioned, and I know you're gonna have a Pinot Noir tonight, right?
Yes, that's what I like.
It's so cool to have kids here because you know you can trust them, and you know you're all on the same page, and you're in it for the family.
And just to interact with the kids, you know, on a daily basis, and their kid, my grandkids now, they're all doing the same thing that they did, running up and down the stairs. And
just think about the life skills you learn in a restaurant, right?
And everything about this place speaks to me. It's the kind of old school service that makes you feel important, like your family. And to me, knowing that the whole family is involved here is what gives it that feeling.
What cuts of meat are you selling more of?
Well, the filet is always number one, but the ribeye is catching up with the filet. It used to be filet strip ribeye. Now it's filet ribeye strip as far as 1, 2, 3.
Which one is your favorite?
I like the strip.
You cut all your steaks here?
Yes.
Down in the basement, Frankie Kane, Frank's youngest son, is cutting steaks for this evening's service.
I waited for my 5th child to name him Frankie after myself.
Isn't that a little selfish on your part?
It is.
Yeah.
They only serve prime beef at Citizen Kane's.
It's all Midwestern corn-fed beef, prime steak.
Okay.
Nothing but prime.
So what does that mean for you? Like when we talk quality on meat, I mean, how do you judge that?
All the prime meat we have here, the strips and ribeyes, we'd like to have at least 4 to 6 weeks of age on them.
And these steaks looks amazing.
That's a nice looking steak right there. Look at the marbling. That's fantastic. I tell you what, you taught Frank Jr. pretty good, I can tell. I need a guy like him down in DeSoto, Illinois.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do that to you.
They might take you up on it.
Watching Frankie work the knife, you can tell he's done this a time or two. And all the trimmings from these cuts are used at the shop next door.
And then we use all that scrap right there for our grind. You know, our fat content.
A very efficient way to eliminate waste and making sure that everything is used.
Grind it all up. So you grind it up and use it for the market?
Yeah, we use it for all of our soups, and we also use it for a prime hamburger or steak burger.
Yeah.
Or a meatball sandwich over next.
Yeah, we do meatball sandwiches over there too. Yeah, so.
Yeah, there's some delivery drivers that get scared sometimes when they go back there. They get that feeling, you know.
They don't know what's in
that ghost feeling.
Yeah.
Apparently, the basement here could be haunted. I'm eager to see the kitchen anyway, so this seems like a good time to exit. The kitchen here is tight, so that means these guys have to be efficient. Every steak, pork chop, salmon fillet, and saute item comes from this corner here. It's amazing what a couple of people can do on a Saturday night.
Wow, that's good.
I always wanted to start a contest where you can go to another kitchen and somebody has to come to your kitchen and try to perform and do what we do.
Yeah.
Now, we'd probably win the contest because working out of here, getting into a bigger kitchen, we would feel like a horse run free. You know, like I told him on my tombstone, I want hot sides, cold salads, sizzling platters.
Yeah.
That's my motto right there. I like the cooks to burn the food runner's fingers.
Oh wow, look at that. I know, you know, like I do this myself, and on the saute station there's so many things going on, so many pans flying around. You really get into a groove and it just comes out naturally. I love that. This is theater for me.
Not too hard, not too soft.
There's no lemon juice in green bean almondines.
Not on this one.
I want to have a shout out to my wife right here. There is no lemon. As much as lemon as she puts in her green bean almondines, and I've been telling her this for years, and she won't listen to me because I don't know anything. But I'm happy to see we're on the same page with that. Thank you. That's gonna get me in trouble right there. Oh man.
Family and service are the hallmarks of the Citizen Kane experience. But the other big reason that people come here is for the meat. To find out what makes steaks good enough for Citizen Kane's, I'm up with the son, riding along with cattleman Brock Meyer of Meyer Cattle Company. I'm with him this morning as he checks some of his herd. Brock races black Angus cattle.
High-end restaurants obviously charge a lot more for their beef, and there is a reason for that, and that's what we're trying to find out today. People are not very in tune with where their food comes from. You know, it's so interesting to standing here and think about, you know, most of the time our chefs, we're just, you know, we get the meat in and, you know, it's already ready to go and you have no idea what it takes to get it to that point.
Well, this is where it all starts, right here in the pasture.
Yeah.
Free range grass. This is primarily fescue. And we also have, you know, a lot of red clover in our pastures.
What sets them apart?
They're good in our environment. They're very efficient cattle. They don't give up mothering ability. I mean, you can see these cows going after their babies.
Yeah.
Making sure their babies are okay. And
did you always want to be a farmer, or?
I always.
There was no choice.
No, I always wanted to be a farmer. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Beef production tugged at my heart at a young age. I just love going out here, especially in the mornings, checking these cows and making sure everything's healthy. And
so is it a family farm in the sense that it's been in your family for a long time, or?
It has, yeah. It was started by my grandpa and expanded by my dad and his brothers. And then I plan to carry that on. This is how we like to raise our kids, teaching that compassion to them. My daughter and my son seem to be very interested in it. So our goal is to pass it on down. I love watching those babies run and play. And
yeah.
They're so happy and healthy. And, you know, that's what you like to see. Green grass and happy, healthy cattle.
Here on Brock's farm, they're raised to meet the highest standards, reaching several benchmarks to meet the grade.
A large percentage of our animals qualify for certified Angus beef. You know, at the end of the day, that's our success story. Is when we're able to put that steak on a family's table for them to enjoy.
That means thank you very much, I believe.
See you later.
Yeah, see you later.
It's obvious that Brock takes good care of the herd. Sure, the sunrise was a nice reward, but getting up and doing this every day is a real commitment. Brock hand raises his livestock for about 2 years until it's sold.
Yeah, so that's an ear tag, that's an identification marker. And that's what we use for our records, so we know that cow produced this calf. You know, we're very passionate about our cattle. You know, this farm is very data-driven. You know, we follow that cow and that calf she raises all the way through. You know, a lot of my knowledge was, like I say, taught by my dad, but my goal is to just keep taking things to the next level.
So tell me how this works.
So this is what we call a cake box or a feed box, and we fill that up with grain, and that's what I use in the mornings to check the pastures. Honk the horn, the cows come running, they know that they're going to get a little nibble of that, and that's how we move cows. This is how we check cows. It's very stress-free.
So what is it exactly?
It's just a very simple little ration that is very nutritious for the cattle, and gives them a little snack, like I say, just to get them to come to us, and we can move them place to place stress-free.
Obviously, it's very important what they eat, right?
Yes, it's very important. We work with a nutritionalist, you know, that builds our rations for us. So much like a human's diet, it's balanced, and it's...
Is it good? It's a little dry, in my opinion. So when stuff breaks down out here, do you know how to fix it, or?
Yeah, I have to play mechanic and fix it. You know, we have a lot of roles here.
Yeah.
My dad's better at that than I am.
It may be picturesque on the farm, but there's a lot of work to be done here. You really have to love what you do.
Yeah, it's definitely a different lifestyle doing this. It is a labor of love. It's just like having a restaurant. You're married to it, you know, same responsibility. I mean, if we don't work together, then it's not going to work.
Yeah, everybody's got to work together and play their part 7 days a week.
As it turns out, taking care of the cattle on the Meyer Ranch is a family endeavor. This is Lexi, Brock's daughter and farmhand.
Lexi, how old are you?
I'm 17.
17? And you've been doing this all your life too?
Since I was 3. I get out here about 7, 6:30, right around there. And then I go to my classes in the morning around 7:40.
And he's not forcing you to do anything? You want to do it by yourself?
Oh yeah.
Wow. But I bet you know, like, I mean, from a teacher standpoint, you know that you're a good person just because you get up in the morning and have responsibilities. I mean, that's hard to get by anymore.
Yeah, having livestock, having cattle to take care of, teach you that responsibility. I mean, they depend on us for everything. It's exciting to think back that my grandpa started this farm, you know, and operated on this land. And now I get the opportunity, and then Lexi and my son Jackson. I mean, it'll just be passed down. There you go.
He's hungry, huh?
Yes.
I wish all my customers were like this.
All right, you're
How
on
old
there,
is this calf?
Week old.
Yeah.
Week old, wow.
10 days old.
And Lexi is well versed, doing nearly every job Brock does, and even a couple he doesn't.
This is my home base.
Okay.
So everything here I take care of on a daily basis. So morning and night, so before school, I'll come here in the mornings. Usually it's cool like this out. So I'll just, mix feed, get them in here. Most of the time I just leave these back gates open where those heifers can come in and out kind of as they please.
These are Lexi's show cattle. Known as the girl in the cowboy hat from her trademark show attire.
I wear a cowboy hat whenever I show, and a lot of girls don't do that. And, over time I've gotten the opportunity to do a couple interviews. So they've kind of nicknamed me the girl who wears the cowboy hat. You'll see a poster in there that has that from an article I did. But that's kind of my nickname, is the girl who wears the cowboy hat. As you're exhibiting the animal, you want to look the best you can, but the main focus of the showman is to make sure that that animal looks good at all times. And that takes a real skill. So you just gotta, with working on these cattle yourself, you really want to understand the animal.
Lexi tackles everyday farm life with as much moxie as a seasoned rancher.
So you lift it up to the far side, and you spread it all the way down.
Okay. I feel like I need to be carrying that.
I get used to feeding by myself.
And demonstrates an incredible amount of responsibility.
But it's a little different what you do. You kind of have a relationship with the animals, right? So.
Well, we all have a relationship with them. It's just a little bit different.
Yeah.
In my form, I'm more one-on-one with my heifers. Now Brock has a lot more cattle to take care of, so he can't just do exactly what I do with the cattle.
There's a lot of things you have to give up that other women your age will do. You don't have time for that.
Yeah. So it's just something that, I've grown up doing it.
Yeah.
So it's always been in my blood to do it. Now I've had the opportunity to play sports or, do things that are more girly. But I think that I've always have had a passion for the cattle industry and the livestock industry. So whenever we're selling heifers and for younger kids like me to show, it's my job to make sure that they're tame enough for the younger kids to show them.
All right.
And this one we only put a half bucket.
And if that isn't enough family involvement for you.
How are you?
Hi, I'm Michelle Meyer. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you, Lasse. And who's this guy?
This is Jackson.
He's got a job on the farm too?
Everybody's got a job.
Yeah?
This is Brock's dad, a lifelong cattle farmer who also work on the day-to-day around here with Brock.
Hey, Papa.
Is that Pawpaw feeding? Is that Pawpaw feeding?
There's plenty of work to go around. Somehow it's already gone from sunrise to lunchtime. And today, like they often do, everybody's meeting up at Brock's parents' house for lunch. Sitting down at the table with 3 generations of a working farm family gives me a different perspective, how things come together in the restaurant.
It's all about education. You know, the high-end restaurants that buy high-end beef, they come from farmers like you that you have to put the same care into what you do, and I put the same care and follow along with what, you know, so we're kind of doing the same thing.
It's easy to take all the effort for granted.
Think about how much time, energy, effort, and love that goes into doing what you're doing. And so when people order, whether it's meat or fish, or and it's handled by us, but really you have to think about where it came from and honor and respect that. I mean, I thought it was important for me to come out and see. You know, it's so easy just to cook a steak and serve it. And, you know, people don't realize how much that goes into all this stuff.
I'm back where I started this morning at the cattle barn, and I hardly recognize it in the daylight. Also visible in the daylight is the house next door that Brock is building with his wife, Michelle. If I hadn't already mentioned that cattle is a family business here, it should be obvious by now.
It's raising them on the farm very early teaches them compassion.
Yeah.
And it teaches them perseverance. I mean, because here's the thing, like when you're raising livestock and you have a bad day and things, no matter what you do, something goes wrong, right?
Yeah.
And it teaches them that they just get up and try again because they've got animals depending on them.
Family participation used to be something that was normal on American farms.
So you look at the data of things, and there's so many families and so many people that are so far from the farm that there's less than 2% that are involved in production agriculture.
Yeah.
And it's something that has always kind of hit home to me that I want to continue that. Like I don't want to be another one that is farther away from the farm. I want to keep that in my family.
It's good to see that this family farm is thriving and well. And as I sit down to dinner with Frank and his family at Citizen Kane's, I can't help but reflect on the symmetry between these two stories.
You know, working with family is a blessing.
It is a blessing.
And, you know, I see your small grandchildren, you know, they're going to be the third or fourth generation of Citizen Kane to keep it going.
Third, yes.
You can't ask for any more.
I am the luckiest man in the world.
Yeah.
Filet mignon.
Wow, that looks great.
York strip. Our famous pork chop.
I love it. It looks fantastic. So, which one should I try first?
Well, you said you liked the ribeye, so you probably have to try the ribeye first.
Okay. Why do you like the strip?
The filet to me it's really tender, but it doesn't have the flavor. It's very good, but I think the strip has a little more body. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, this is delicious.
Sure, one is supply and one is demand. But at the heart of it, it's food being produced by family, prepared by family, and served to family. It's full circle. The classic American Steakhouse is alive and well. So is the family cattle farm. Both working in symmetry to create the classic American dining experience.
I love the whole family thing. I mean, how wonderful it is that you have this together. And it keeps going. Food is love and family is love.
Salud.
Cheers. Skål. I'm gonna take the filet, I'm gonna put wild mushroom sauce, I'm gonna put one of these vegetables on there. And there's a lot of love in this dish. Simple, delicious. It's really no family secret. Food is love. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Farming is love.
So whether you like the ribeye or the filet,
This is Orson Welles. I wish you'd come to Citizen Kane to decide for yourself.
food is love.